I feel like I'm about to sing. Should I
All
sing a
right,
song?
here we are, man. I like to teach the world to sing.
Are we live?
Yeah, we are
Ah,
live, man. We're
fuck.
here. Hello.
Damn.
How you guys doing? This is Eaton Radio, and the show name, of course, is Thursday is the new Friday, which I always believe actually every day is Friday. I'm here with Pressure K.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yo, what's up, everyone? And yeah, hey, what's up, Chanel? How you doing, man? Samson, how you doing, bro? How's it going? So I'm here with Pressure K, man. He's gonna talk about his new EP just came out yesterday. It's called Transcendence. And yeah, let's hear about it, man. Like, so what was what was the title, man? It's a great name, actually, Transcendence.
Yeah,
So
thanks, dude.
so what's it about? Like, why'd you pick the title?
Well, most of these songs are actually like they were done around like 3 years ago,
Yeah,
almost, you know. So like, it's a bit of a play on words, cause like, it's supposed to be kind of like, oh, I've transcended these songs now. Like I'm over it. I just want to get it out, and like really, like that's actually how I came up with the title.
I'm over this shit, man. Let me get my album out.
Pretty much, yeah. Because most of them, like, they've just been around, like in my like folder in my computer or whatever, and I've just been like so lazy to touch it. And this year it's like, all
Yeah.
right, I need to get this out because like this is just bothering me now.
So you said it's 3 years in the making. This album.
Kind of. I mean, like you have like bits and pieces here and there. So like there's
Shout
two.
out to Chambers. Sorry, man.
Cool. Yeah, two of these songs were done like I think 2 or 3 years ago, and then I kind of just like I got it up to 90%, and I'm like, yeah, I'm too lazy to finish it, so I'll
Yeah.
just wait. And then two of the songs are actually new, so yeah, it's a bit of a mixture on both.
So tell me a bit about like the process of how you make music. Like, do you is it straight into Ableton or another like FL Studio or something, or what do you do? Do you like do sketches first, or do you write something, or just patch it together?
I think the process varies. Like like sometimes it's really smooth. So sometimes like I'll open Ableton and everything just flows like perfectly, and that's like those are like the good days, you know. Sometimes it's like, all right, I have this melody idea, but I don't know how else to go with it, so I'll just put down the idea, put into my like folder or whatever of like unfinished ideas, and then
Yeah.
I'll come back to it later when I have the chance.
So how big is that folder of the unfinished ideas? Shout out to Samson, by the way, and his mom.
That folder is around like 4 terabytes huge.
Whoa, man, that's crazy, dude. So you got a 4 terabyte inspiration folder.
It's just a bunch of like draft ideas or whatever. I mean, keep in mind this folder has been in the making since like I was I think 18. So that's like 7 years, 7 years of like ideas that pop up and I don't believe in anymore, or that I can use like in the future or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
yeah.
guess it's always good to keep stuff, right? Because you never know. Even if you don't like the whole thing that you've done, you could use
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
beat or like a
It,
different thing, right?
it's kind of like it's like how when you produce like you have a sample library. This is kind of like a library where yeah, like you're using your own samples, kind of, like something that you've done before
Yeah.
or something like that.
Oh, that's cool. Like
Yeah.
how long you been making music for, actually?
I mean, I've been dabbling around since like I graduated high school, but I've only been properly like doing music for the past like 4 years.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, what's your IG, by the way? It's Pressure K, right?
Yeah. So it's and then Pressure K.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, guys. Just to let you know, we're here with Pressure K. And I would say like if I just say your production style, you mentioned like trap, future bass, like is
Yeah.
that would you say that's an accurate way to describe your music?
Yeah. I mean, I produce all kinds, but like trap and future bass definitely captures my attention the most.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what do you think of the label like EDM? Do you buy into that?
I think a lot of people. All right, wait. Let me gather my thoughts here. I feel
Oh
like.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa.
I feel like I'm about to
Be
offend a lot of
careful,
people.
man. All right. Yeah, fuck EDM. No, just kidding.
I feel like EDM is it's kind of like a good thing because it kind of groups like a lot of these like electronic genres into like one kind of thing, because most people don't really know like specific genres, and there's new genres coming out like every month, every year, and stuff like that. Like trap is not really like old; it's kind of new. Future bass is quite new as well, you know.
Yeah, for sure, man.
So I feel like I've met like two types of people. So it's like the people that like, yeah, EDM is kind of like a good label for all of us, but there's also the other kind where it's like, EDM is just like this specific genre, and it's like, no, EDM actually covers most of us, really. You
Yeah.
know? So
Because
yeah.
it's funny when EDM started becoming popular as a moniker, like I'd say like maybe 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah,
Probably like when you're talking about Swedish House Mafia, like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Tiesto,
yeah,
Avicii, things like that.
yeah,
And then lots of other artists like Steve Aoki, things like that.
yeah,
And then I think a lot of people from Europe were a bit like surprised because they felt that like, oh, this is stuff that they've been doing for like 20, 30 years, right?
yeah, yeah.
But then at the same time, I kind of took the view that actually the way that so-called EDM sounds is actually a bit different. It's specific to, it's got like those big drops, huge like build-ups. It's got like a sound, right? So
Yeah.
kind of like if you go to like Beatport and then you go to main stage genre, like things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. I think EDM definitely covers like more than like 128 though, you know what I mean? Like there's
Oh yeah, man.
like there's so many subgenres in EDM, and it kind of sucks that most people when you say EDM and the first thing they think of is like, yeah, so anything they play at main stage at Ultra.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just like it that's kind of not quite it, like there's more to it than that, I think.
Yeah, and I think that there was a certain like, to me, like the emergence of like EDM, it made, it brought in certain elements that were missing from dance music, like quite rocky. It's got
Yeah, yeah.
like mosh pits, like it's got like sometimes like there'll be like drum and bass drops.
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
stuff.
for
And
sure.
I
Yeah.
think like a lot of people who were like criticizing the style like didn't. Again, like always, don't
Yeah.
really bother actually like listening to a lot of the artists before they talk.
Yeah. I mean,
That's always the
it,
way,
it,
man.
it is what it is what it is though. I mean, like the best we can do is kind of try and educate people rather than like insulting them and telling them they don't know anything.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Like rather than saying that, you can be like, "Hey, did you know EDM is also this?
Yeah,
Technically, I'm
exactly.
EDM. Technically, this person's EDM or whatever." Like
Yeah, for sure, man.
yeah.
So why don't we play a track from your new EP?
Yeah, let's do
what
it.
What are we starting with, man?
Let's start with. I think we'll just play it in order, so we
Okay,
we
man.
can start with Area 0. This is track 1 of the EP.
All right, guys. So yep, I'm Fab Sabs. I'm here with Pressure K today. We're gonna play his new EP. Yeah, what's up? Richard Chambers says, "Fuck it, insult them."
All right, cool. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
Shout out to Richard Chambers, man. Hey, Chambers, are you ready for Saturday, bro? Big drinking day on Saturday. All right, so we're going to play Pressure K's new EP. The first track that we have here is called Area 0. Hope you enjoy it. I'm Fab Sabs. This is Thursday is the new Friday on Eastern Radio. What's up?
Cool.
Here we go. Yeah. Shout out to Lewis. right, guys, that was the track Area Zero. It's by Pressure K, and he's right here, man. Dude, that was sick,
Hey,
bro. That was sick, dude.
thank you, thank you,
Yeah,
thank you.
it's got like a kind of like so that sample that you used that was
Yeah.
like the voice sample. Like,
Yeah.
where'd you find that from, man?
I don't really remember. I won't lie.
Somewhere in
It's
the world.
somewhere. Yeah, it's somewhere. I don't even know what it's saying actually. Like I kind of just, it's there. It's there. So.
Yeah, man, it's got like I like it's got like a kind of like dark, like darkish tribal sound almost.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Like, so why is it called Area Zero? Or is it just like fuck it? I want to call this Area Zero.
Yeah. It pretty much is just fuck it. I want to call it Area Zero.
But I thought there was some like deep philosophical meaning behind it, man.
Not really. I mean, like it's, I don't know. Like some of the songs I have, like the title comes to me, but this one was kind of just, yeah, Area Zero. That sounds right. So just went with that really.
Nice. We got some people listening in here. Richard
Everyone.
Chambers says, "This would be sick on Gurners." I don't know what Gurners
What
are.
are
bro.
Gurners?
I think he's referring to possibly like an illicit substance, even.
It sounds like a grill.
Yeah, Gurner.
Like
Yo,
you have
man.
your Foreman grill and then you have the Gurner grill.
Yeah,
like-
Gurner, man. Yeah. You should make like a product called the Gurner.
The Gurner.
Actually, it probably already exists. Shout out to Simon Hugo. How's it going, bro? Long time no see. Shout out to Lewis. Lewis, who I was out with last night, and I'm sorry about your glasses. Let me know how much they cost.
You broke some glasses?
I don't. Yeah, there's a bit unclear how that happened. But anyway, I will pay for the damage. I promise.
Sorry. Do you mean like glasses or like
Like
glasses?
glasses. Like
Oh,
you
oh,
wear.
yeah.
Yeah, which is just that's distressing, man. Cause like
Yeah.
I guess because they're important, right? You know. So
You guess.
he broke more than that.
Yeah.
Richardson.
Oh,
breaking
man.
breaking hearts all the time, bro. Sorry, I know like you asked me to go out with you, bro, but I broke your heart too. Just kidding, man. He's happily married, so
Oh no.
have fun with that one. Okay. Anyway, so Area Zero.
Yeah.
So your production process is always like Ableton or no?
Yeah. I mean, I'm primarily Ableton user now. I used to be on Logic, but no longer.
What's the difference between like, in your opinion, Logic and Ableton?
There's not really much of a difference. I mean, it really depends on like whichever that you're comfortable with. I mean, for me anyway, like I feel that like Ableton is easier for me to produce in, and Logic is kind of a bit, it's a bit wonky or whatever. But currently with the new update, which is like 10.5 or something like that, like it's pretty similar to like Ableton now, where they have like the clip view and everything as well. So
Yeah.
not much of a difference. It's kind of just like the same DAW but in a different skin, kind of.
Yeah, because what I found is like, when I've been making stuff like in like groove boxes, like I don't know, I find when I look at a computer or something, don't really, I need to make my computer more sort of like creative. I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I feel like for like when you produce on actual synths or like groove boxes and stuff like that, things are instant.
Yeah.
And you don't experience latency, like lag, which is
Yeah.
something you produce a lot in, like not produce, like something that you experience a lot in DAWs. But I feel like it kind of just, you kind of just need to get the hang of it. It's kind of like for let's say like for like an old DJ like who started on vinyl and stuff like that, probably will have like some trouble like adapting to like let's say Serato via a computer or like a USB, on CDJs and stuff like that, But the thing is, like, I mean, the principle is kind of the same, where it's like
Yeah.
make music, kind
Yeah,
of,
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like if I use like Ableton or something, I prefer to have like a push or like a
Yeah.
launch pad.
Yeah.
And then one thing after buying Launchpad, which I buy a lot of gear and I don't really necessarily use it all the
You
time.
should sell them then.
Yeah, dude.
You know?
I know, man. It's bad. It's like one of those like crack habits. You're just like, should I get the new something? Like there was one time Zoom made. Zoom no, not Zoom. It's what's the recorder? Zoom. Yeah, the one you have.
The Zoom recorder.
Did I
Yeah.
tell you they made like this light frisbee thing? It looks like a frisbee and it like lights up. And
Yeah, you told me about that. What the hell?
I don't know.
That's the
I-
weirdest thing
I
ever.
want to get one, but luckily they didn't have it in Tom Lee, man. So
Yeah, there's actually like a term for this. Like it's called GAS. Like, have you ever heard of it?
No.
So GAS stands for Gear Acquisition Syndrome, which is something a lot of us in the music industry go through. And
You're like guitarist, man. Like
I'm just saying.
foot pedals. Foot pedals is like a thing.
Oh yeah. Most guitarists are quite like obsessed with like foot pedals,
Yeah, man, for sure.
and then for us it's like synths or like plugins and stuff like that.
Like I brought those controllers out, and like after
Yeah.
the show we did last time, and
Yeah.
dude, like some of it got like, oh man, it broke, man.
Oh no.
Dude, I was not packing it carefully, and I was like bringing so much stuff. When I opened the bag, like a couple of buttons fell off.
Oh
and
no.
shit. Yeah, man, it's crazy. Yo, what's up? Shout out to Aiden, ForsakenAiden.wav. And shout out to Samson as well, man, with the Aperol Spritz at home, man. What a good idea, dude. I want one right now. I'm going to have one after the show because I'm really hungover. I just want to say that to everyone. Should we play another track?
Yeah. Let's play track 2.
Yeah,
Let's
dude.
do it.
Shout out to Sophie. What's up, Sophie? How you doing, yo?
Thanks
All
for
right.
tuning in, guys.
Yeah, so we're listening to Pressure K's new EP. And we can describe the style, I guess, like bass, trap, future bass, EDM-ish.
I feel like just bass would have been
Bass.
sufficient. I think.
All right, guys. So this is the second track off his new EP. It's called Ethereal. Check it out, man. This is Fab Sabs. We're at Eaton Hotel, Eaton Radio.
Let's do it.
Here we go. Blast it on your speakers.
I see the light, you're in the dark again. Don't wanna fight, just to see a spark. Just wake me up when it's all over. Wake me up again. When the feeling gets too much, and I feel there's nothing
guys, that is the track Ethereal, and that's by Pressure K, who's standing right here.
Hey everyone.
It's off his new EP, which we can find on all your favorite streaming platforms.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much.
So like Apple Music, Spotify,
Apple
YouTube.
Music, Spotify, YouTube, Tidal, SoundCloud, yeah, pretty much everywhere.
Shout out if you just joined. Shout out to Samson, Sophie, Aiden, man, how you doing? Richard Chambers, man, dude, loving it, indeed.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Hope
Thank
it's
you.
inspiring your designs, bro. And Samson says, woohoo. Dude, man, hope that Aperol Spritz. Have another one. And tell your mom to start the karaoke machine. It's almost 6 o'clock, dude. No, I just want to say a shout out to Samson and his mom. Samson lives really near me. And then one time when he was super wasted, I brought him back to his place because he was so trash. Sorry, Samson. And then his mom was like, oh, how come you always get drunk with Peter? I'm like, what are you talking about? It's not my I thought I was like trying to be like a really good like boy and stuff.
Oh no.
Apparently I'm the bad influence.
Oh no.
But I'm sorry. Sorry, Mom. Anyway, so tell me about Ethereal, man. Like, you know, you've got like a couple of drum and bass style drops in there, like kind of quite like different elements, like, and the vocal you kind of do you sample the vocal and then play the chords on a keyboard, or how does that work?
So this song actually took the longest to finish. What you're listening to, this is the 16th version of the master. So it actually took a while. I think it took me 4 months just to finish mastering the entire thing. For the drops, like it's all vocal samples. So it's literally just from like the sample that I have in there. I can't really play. Like that's kind of the problem, you know. Like if you put like a MIDI keyboard in front of me, like I can't get inspired by that. So for me, like in Ableton, what I do is I chop up the vocals and like kind of play around with the notes like via audio rather than via notes, you know, like because I'm stupid when it comes to I'm stupid when it comes to like music theory and shit like
I
that.
think that
So
can be like an advantage, right? So you don't really have like that all those preconceived notions of like what to do.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, like you have so much more possibilities when you know, kind of sample with like audio rather than playing it on a keyboard, you know, like because you have all these like automations that you can do that you can't do, let's say like in real time.
Yeah, one of the things I like that I bought was the Data Life. You know, it's like got the smiley face.
Yeah, so you got Endless Smile and you have Sausage Fattener as well.
Yeah. So if you guys don't know out there, like Sausage Fattener is like a plugin that makes your track sound really fat, like big bass, big sound.
It's pretty much OTT but on steroids.
Yeah, and basically there's a sausage and you like turn it up.
It gets angry like when you turn it up.
Yeah, man. Okay, so Richard Chambers says later, dudes. Wicked Tunes, dude. What's his name again? Gonna check him out on Spotify. Pressure K.
Yeah.
Yo, Chambers, look up Pressure K on Spotify, man. How many? You got quite a few albums now, right? How many EPs and albums do you have?
That's a good question.
Not sure, right?
Not sure. I know this is my third one this year, so I got 3 out this year, and I got so there's Eternal, there's House Party, Postgrad. I think 6 or 7 EPs.
Right.
I could be wrong. I think that's it though. 6 or 7 EPs.
Oh, damn! It's quite a lot, man.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I've been doing this since 2018 or 19, so it'll be embarrassing if I only have one now. You know,
and you also have your studio, right? Hyperspace.
Yeah, Hyperspace Studios.
So Hyperspace is your production arm. Is that right?
Yeah, kind of. I guess. Yeah, you can put it that way.
Yeah, Chambers. I'll connect you guys. Richard Chambers is a designer. He says, "Hit me up if you need an album cover." Dude, actually,
Why
speaking
not?
of your
Yeah.
album cover, man, it's quite cool. Like, where'd you get the artwork from?
All right. So I'm not like a professional graphic designer or anything, but I pretty much sketch them myself.
Oh, dude, no way.
Yeah.
Yo, Chambers, I'll send you the artwork. It's wicked, bro. But you know, I love your artwork still, baby.
Yeah, no, it's not professional or anything. So you know, don't.
But it looks cool, man.
look
So
too much into
you hand drew it.
I do that cheat thing where I go on like for this one I already kind of knew what I wanted, so I kind of just went on Google Images and picked a few photos that I want, put it into like a session on Photoshop or something like that, and then
Yeah.
kind of just kind of sketch the outline, but then made it like a little bit different.
Oh, cool, man, dude.
Yeah.
Like
Hopefully, I don't get a copyright strike now that I've revealed that. So, yeah.
one of my friends, Pirate, who's shout out to Pirate, who's got married today. Actually, getting married.
Oh,
and
congrats,
Going
congrats,
to
bro.
drinks later. Pirate, yeah, welcome to the rest of your life. Just kidding. Just kidding, man. You married a good guy. Anyway, yeah, she says there's an app that you can like draw on tablet, and it's really good. I forgot the name of it.
Is it Procreate?
Maybe,
Yeah.
dude. It looks wicked though, man.
I've been trying to get into that. Like, I actually got an iPad Pro like a few months back just to kind of get into like actual graphic designing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've been so lazy. Like, I look at it and I'm like, this is okay. Maybe tomorrow, like not today.
Yeah.
I just want to produce music now,
Have you got Canva? Canva's great, dude.
Canvas?
No, it's
Canva.
Canva without the
Canva.
S. It's really good for graphic design. It's just really good. It's a pretty cheap app.
What does it what does it do? Like,
You
I
can
mean-
make flyers, make like any type of graphic design. It's really
Oh
good.
yeah, I think I've heard of those
Really,
actually.
really
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
man. Yeah. Because like obviously I don't know any
Mm.
graphic design either, but like for doing show flyers and stuff, it takes like 2 minutes to make
to
something.
kind of
like
just
really
put
good.
everything together.
And
Yeah.
You can do cutouts and you can do lots of stuff. It's
Oh,
awesome.
cool. I'll look into that actually. Yeah.
All right, man. So should we play another track? We're gonna play "Set Me Free."
Let's
And
do
this
it.
is off Pressure K's new EP. It's called Transcendence, which came out yesterday. And you're hearing.
Fresh out the oven.
I'd like to say you're hearing it here first, but like came out yesterday, so I can't claim that. So anyway, guys, this is "Set Me Free,"
Cool.
and we're on Eaton Radio and Fab Sabs. Come down here for all your favorite food, drinks, parties, people, and lovers. Okay, here we go. "Set Me Free."
Set me free.
All right, guys, that was Pressure K, who's right here.
Hey
Set me
everyone.
free. That man,
Yeah.
I love that you got such a big, rounded and well-rounded and smooth sound. Like how?
Oh,
So
thanks, man.
you know,
Thank
you
you.
talked about mixing and mastering
Yeah.
earlier, like, and that's something personally that I struggle with. I know a lot of people do.
Yeah.
So what are the some of the things you do to achieve the sound on on your tracks? Shout out to Fedor Yuri, man. How you doing, man? What's up, Fedor? I can't pronounce your name properly. I'm just gonna say Finn. Shout out to Finn.
Yeah, that's a better
Speaking
way.
of albums, man, Finn's album's coming out later this year.
Nice.
Stay tuned. So yeah, tell me about
Yep.
your mixing, mastering, production process.
I think it's not to sound like too braggy or whatever, but like it. I don't think it's too hard. Kind of, like I feel like for most people when they start mixing and mastering, like they're more interested in how to make things loud. But it's
Yeah,
yeah, it's really like the simple things that count. Like proper gain staging, proper compression, and be wary of like how much effects you put on it. Like effects is good when used correctly. The thing is, the more you use it, the more digital it sounds, and the more like distorted it will sound.
yeah,
Basically, if you're mixing and like this is any channel, like even your kicks, like synths and stuff like that. If Ableton starts crashing on you, and if you have a computer that's like, after 2018 and your CPU can't keep up, you're using too many plugins. Like really, like
that's
that's
happened to me before.
yeah. So like, just be very wary of like how many times you process a signal kind of, like chances are you don't need like two or three EQs on any given thing. I mean, unless if you're sound designing, but once you finish sound designing, like you can flatten that and that becomes like an audio file by itself. Like you don't have to go too crazy when it comes to mixing, because most of the time, like we use samples that are already processed.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So I mean, like, and also gain. So
yeah.
you want to make the track quieter, right? Not too loud, right?
I mean, like it really. This is like controversial, so I'll say like I'll share my opinion, but I don't speak for the entire like engineering community. I'm quite like a fan of the still like make sure everything is -6, so you have
Right.
headroom
Yeah.
for mastering later on. That's actually been like debunked kind of because like there's a new format like 32-bit float.
Right.
So if even if you don't have headroom in 32-bit float, when you send it to someone else, they can tell the DAW that's like this is a 32-bit float file and bring all the volume back down. Like
Right. Yeah.
so you don't lose any like transients or anything like that, technically. And there's been a lot of like, well, technically, if it's -2, I can just put that down by -4, then it will be -6, like
yeah.
that's yeah, you could do that, but I mean for me just for, like good practice, like before I bounce out a mix or anything like that, I just have to make sure like everything is hitting like -6 kind of.
Yeah.
Like nothing like you can go over a little bit, like if you go to like -5, -4, especially with like EDM music, like your drop is definitely louder, so if you go a little bit higher, that's fine. But the reason for that is that later on when you master, you can continue like kind of processing like your mix just a little bit more.
Right.
And
Yes.
you have like all these like pretty much you have -6 dB of headroom before you hit 0. And before that limiter comes down and like squashes your entire mix kind of.
Right. Yeah. For
Yeah.
sure.
That's just like like the way I do it anyway. I'm not saying to anyone like, hey, this is the only way. This if you don't do this, then you're not gonna get this or whatever. Like I mean, it works for me. And I mean personally anyway. Like I really just think that like when people get into mixing, like it's about like how many plugins you have or whatever. And it's like no, not really. I mean, your stock plugins work just fine. And you don't need to over process like
Yeah.
anything really. Like
Yeah.
this.
I must admit, I've actually I've spent a bit of money and bought that isotope.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It seems to be it's a kind of cheating, I guess. I don't know.
Isotope. I mean, it's just a plugin. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not really
exactly.
cheating.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
What is cheating really? I mean, I just needed some help because I found all my mixing and mastering is just dreadful.
I mean, as I think at the end of the day, like the goal is to make things sound good, and like doesn't really matter like how you get there. I mean, most of the time, like most like top records that you hear anyway, like like these artists like will give it out to like other mixing mastering engineers. Like, so is that cheating? Because it's
Yeah.
like, well, not really. Because it's in a team and they get paid or whatever. I mean,
Yeah, when you see like
yeah,
the especially pop albums, man, like
yeah,
how
yeah,
many
yeah,
songwriters there are,
yeah,
like how many, like it's crazy, dude.
yeah.
And actually,
Most of them have more than like 10 writers on one single.
shout out to Nick, man. How you doing, man? Spit Gun Nick, how you doing, mate? Um, yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Like, and a lot of days, like now, like I was listening to like I think Dua Lipa.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
she just used samples like straight from the '90s, man. Like there's
Oh
the
yeah.
song White Town, I'd Never Be Your Woman.
It sounds very familiar,
Yeah.
but I
Anyway,
can't sing it though.
yeah. But anyway,
Yeah.
like so she just uses that sample straight up.
Yeah.
Well, obviously her team paid for it, but then I was
Yeah.
thinking like, why would they spend so much money going for a sample when they could have just? I guess maybe the record company owned the rights or something.
Yeah, I mean, like the thing is though, like with well, I guess we can talk about sampling a little bit. I don't think there's like a problem in sampling. Like I used to be that guy where, like when I hear someone, especially like hip hop like producers, like when I was like much younger, like if anyone told me like, yeah, I didn't really play that, I just kind of put a sample in there, or I didn't sound design that, that's not this, I use a preset or something. Like I'd be like, no, no, no. So that means you didn't produce that. That's cheating. You can't do that, whatever. And then the more I got into like music or whatever, the thing is like, I mean, like I said earlier, like as long as it sounds good and you're not breaking any laws and you're not like, like no one produced the track for you, I think you're good. I mean, like no one's gonna listen to a track and be like, hey, this track sucks. There's a sample in there that I recognize, and this guy didn't produce this track. It's like, well, not really. I mean, if you if you're on YouTube, you can watch like this guy Andrew Huang.
No, I don't know.
Right. So he's this guy and on YouTube, and he's this like musician, producer ish. And he has like like an ongoing series where he gives like a sample to multiple producers, and they will all like ask them to like remix it or flip it
Oh,
and see
cool,
what
man.
happens.
Nice.
And every producer comes up with like a different idea.
Yeah.
So basically what I'm trying to say is that it doesn't matter if you're sampling, because as long as like the idea is original. Like yes, you're using a sample, but I mean if you really like the sample, that's cool, but just kind of put your unique take on it. If you just take a whole song and you use the whole song, yeah, I'm not sure about that one. But if you're really enjoying, like, let's say I like a guitar riff from some kind of psychedelic rock album.
Yeah.
I mean, and if I have the money, like, yeah, I'll buy it straight up, and use it in a track probably. If it sounds good, I think it sounds good. Like,
Oh yeah, for sure, man. I mean, like hip hop's like largely based on samples, right?
yeah.
And there was such an art to, especially in the '90s, like using like the emu, I think it's called, like the sampler. They only had like
Yeah.
not much sample time, dude. I think.
They had the MPC as well.
Yeah, MPC.
Yeah, MPC. Yeah.
So the original one, I think that everyone was using, was like only like 12 seconds sample time.
Yeah. Yeah.
People used to like speed up the record and then slow it down in the computer later, or like whatever they were using. So it's pretty crazy. Like
I think if I remember correctly, the memory on that thing is like 250 megabytes. Like
that's crazy, right?
It's like a floppy disk or something, and it's like, yeah, these are all the samples you have. Like.
When you talked about releasing albums the other day,
Yeah.
and we said like, oh yeah, on a floppy.
On a
disk.
floppy disk.
But then, right, floppy disk only has like how much memory? Like 16 meg or something?
Technically, if you have like 7 songs and it's all MP3 and less than 5 minutes, you can fit them all on a floppy disk. The only problem is I don't know if you can find like a software now to
Yeah.
burn it onto the disc.
You'd have to have like a download code, basically, dude.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever released like a physical album before?
Not really, but back when I was like starting out, so I started out with DJing first before getting into production, whatever.
Yeah.
I would like print mixtapes and give it to everyone for free. So if that counts, yeah. So I'll like make a mix, I'll put it into a CD, and it's like, hey, check it out, I made this.
Oh, that's
or
cool,
something
man. Like
that.
old school, like burning CDs and stuff.
Yeah, this was like a while back. Like, I gave it out to like people in like my high school, and
Where'd you go to high school, man?
I went to high school here. I went to Australian International.
Oh, in Kowloon.
Kowloon, yeah.
Nice. Are you Australian?
No, I'm not.
I'm not even gonna bother doing like a
Yeah,
shitty Australian accent.
that's fair.
Let's not go there.
Yeah, no, we're gonna offend a lot of people if we do that. So.
Yeah, I already
Yeah.
offended enough people, especially last night. So anyway,
Yeah.
you said that you've got like a new track on your album, which is a collaboration with VNT.
Vendetta, I think that's how it's
Vendetta.
pronounced.
Vendetta.
Vendetta.
Vendetta. So yeah, so tell me about like Vendetta, like what's he or she all about?
Well, it's a he.
Ah,
I actually got introduced to him kind of by a mutual friend of ours, and like I was still in Australia at that time, like in Melbourne, and that's kind of where he lives as well currently. But before like we could kind of collab on anything, at that time I was leaving to come back to Hong Kong.
yeah.
So like it was kind of the wrong time, and I'm like, shit, man, sorry. Like I really want to meet you and see what you're all about, but I really got to leave, so I'm really sorry. And then I mean I came back, and then time went by, whatever, and I kind of had this song, and I think he was the one that reached out to me and said like, hey, we should collab on something, and like again I was going through like my 4 TB worth of of garbage.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and like I found this track, and I was actually about to like delete it or throw it away, and I was like, look, man, how about this? Like, what do you think about this? It's like a completely different version from now, but the idea was there, So I sent it to him like literally just like via DM or whatever. He's like, yeah, cool. I kind of like it, so I'll probably like write something, and I'll get back to you in like maybe 2 weeks or something like that. And he literally like wrote the whole song and like gave it back, and I'm like, oh shit, I have to work on this track now,
Yeah.
I can't put it back into the folder. And like it came out well. I mean, like most of this was just done like online. Like we didn't really like meet up, or I mean we couldn't because he's all the way in the land down under, and so it's just like DM, and it's like, hey, I like this, I like that, how about this, how about that, and then it actually went really well. I mean, I think it took like a month or two to finish the whole project, and after that I was like, look, here's the final master, what do you think? It's like, yeah, dope. And that was the end of the story, really.
Nice, man. So
Yeah.
like that debunks the myth that collaboration's difficult.
It's
Seemed like
it's
an easy
not. I mean, the thing is, you when you collab with someone, like you two have to be on the same page, though. That's the problem, So if let's say we collabed and I have like a different vision from you, then that's when it gets hard, because
Yeah.
if we're not seeing eye to eye, then that's a problem. But if you two have like the same vision, and you allow like creativity from both ends and kind of meeting somewhere in between, then it works really fast, like
Sparks fly, man.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So the collaboration kind of brings you into another area which you didn't really kind of explore before, or a different type of.
Yeah. I mean, like you're essentially like bringing your own like art form and your own way of production, and then you're also accepting like someone else's art form and someone else's like way of production. And in this case, is a rapper, So, I mean, I think it's kind of cool, Like you definitely have like things that you will probably like disagree with,
Yeah.
But then it's about like kind of again, like meeting in between, like. If you produce with someone and they're not used to producing your genre, and you're not used to producing their genre, try and find something that's like maybe, just in between that,
Yeah.
and then kind of work on that. Or you can like teach them like, oh, this is how I produce my genre. Like what's your process? The thing is like you really have to kind of like get to know them and understand like what they're all about, rather than like, oh yeah, I produce trap only and I don't accept this, like I think that's ridiculous,
So what genre is this one? Space Jam.
It's another trap. So
All right, let's have a listen. Let's have a listen, guys.
Cool.
All right, guys, you're listening to Pressure K's new album. It's called Transcendence.
Cool.
It's an EP. Came out 4-track EP came out yesterday, which you can find on all your streaming platforms.
Yes.
And yeah, we're listening to the track that he made with Vendetta. It's called Space Jam. And I'm Fab Sabs. Shout out to Funk Man. How you doing, bro?
of the moves we find me with a spaceship filled with Martian chicks. They twerking with their minds and shit. Climax with their consciousness. They don't know what a condom is. They just like to party, sniff. Space dust to their body drips. Next spot is Jupiter. Space rocks to make us stupider. After that, head to Saturn with the baddies all batting. Got both titties, that's no problem. I ain't kidding. They ain't in the shoes. So damn good, you need a visual. It's fuck the world till the comet hits you. Yeah, till the comet hits you. Word job by like a flying missile. Too high to come by and diss you. Who in the fuck even is you? Next spot is Jupiter. Space rocks to make us stupider. After that, head to Saturn with the baddies all batting. Got both titties, not a problem. I ain't kidding. They ain't in the shoes. So damn good, you need a visual. It's fuck the world till the comet hits you. They twerking with their minds and shit. Don't know what a condom is. Just like to party, step space dust to their body.
Got a tutor.
Starts with the stars align, Mardi Gras but in the sky. Hardly time to say goodbye. We up in space and shit. Never ending vacation, bitch. Whole space station lit. Ball winds and lace my shit. Crash ET's home. Now we got nowhere to go. Fed him handy down his throat. Launch him back to Earth with a catapult. That's a soul. If you say so, I don't know. Let's get back on track and rap about what we really for. Next spot is Jupiter. Space rocks to make us stupider. After that, head to Saturn with the baddies all batting. Got both titties, that's no problem. I ain't kidding, they ain't in the shoes. So damn good, you need a visual. It's fuck the world till the comet hits you. Yeah, till the comet hits you. Word job by like a flying missile. Too high to come by and diss you. Who in the fuck even is you? Next spot is Jupiter. Space rocks to make us stupider. After that, head to Saturn with the baddies all batting. Got both titties, not a problem. I ain't kidding, they ain't in the shoes. So damn good, you need a visual. It's fuck the world till the comet hits you. They twerking with their minds and shit. Don't know what a condom is. Just like to party, step space dust to their body. Exchange souls for drinks and sell coke for cheap, man. Holy white is the brand. You are not holy, man. They tell me I'm the only man to venture this deep in the land. Crowning me the king of the clan. They doubted me, now they're saying I'm the man. It's too late, the train's left, won't return again. If you ain't take off with us, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. We're leaving you on Earth. We surf in space. Through a telescope you might just see a trace of the trail we leave when we leave out of space. Hey.
All right, man. That was Space Jam. It's by Vendetta and Pressure K, who's right here.
Hey everyone.
And yeah, we're getting some like sick reviews of that. Sick beat, says
Sick beat.
Samson. Fong says nice. Tutor's got like some kind of emoji, which is
Some kind of emoji.
it's a thumbs up and then something else, which I'm not sure what. But anyway, it must be positive. Yeah. So anyway, man, I guess
Cool.
good vibes off this one, man.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
So like you've been producing music for a while now. Like,
Yeah.
what are some of the challenges or struggles to get your music heard by people? Like, I'm interested how you promote your music. Like, what are the things that you're kind of like been changing up to try to get more people to listen to it?
To be honest, I'm still figuring that out myself, man. Like that's a tough question, dude. I think one of the hardest parts is actually like promoting your music. Like, I think a lot of people still think that you release music and that's kind of the end of it. Like, not really. Like, the next month now, it's like, you promoting, sending people your tracks, or like seeing like if anyone likes them, getting feedback and stuff like that. Like, I think it's kind of important to also like send them off to like that people that have supported you, or like people that you kind of want to work with in the future or something like that. Just, I mean, don't send them like a Spotify link or anything. Like just send them like the whole EP or the whole track, like just for free.
Yeah.
And just ask for like feedback, like, hey, well, what do you think of this? I just released this today. And if they're cool enough, like they'll reply you. If they're not, then they need to be off your email list because
Yeah.
that's not right.
It's kind of true, like that. You need to find like the people that would be like, for example, on YouTube, right? Like,
Yep.
I remember before I was helping an artist promote,
Mm.
and I did like put some money into that. to be
Yeah,
honest
yeah,
with
yeah,
you.
yeah.
And then I realized like I'd rather have like 10 people really like it rather than like a shitload of hits, like no one engaged with it, right?
Yeah, I mean, like I
Or
feel,
both would be good.
I feel like most people these days like focus so much on the numbers. Like I don't know when that
I
happened.
hate that, man. I fucking
Yeah, I don't know when that happened, but like it like it's kind of like a thing now, and the thing is like numbers are good, but it's about like like how many loyal followers do you have? Like if you release something, will they be there the next time, or is it kind of like you pay for like a campaign and then they'll come and like it, but if like there's no payment, then you don't get anything. I just don't think shit like that is kind of like sustainable. Like what if
Yeah.
you like that means you have to pay like every single time you release music, which in a way is kind of like a free process these days. But you don't want to like have an expense on top of that. And the worst thing about that is that you don't actually get new fans. Like you're kind of just paying for people and like or bots or whatever, to kind of like give you the sense of achievement that you think you have, but like you don't. Like people still don't know you and stuff like that. And it just
Yeah.
doesn't work that way, I think.
I think at the very essence, you gotta really like your music and like what you're putting out. And
Yep.
in a way, that sounds obvious, but I think sometimes people forget that. Like, regardless of how many listeners you get,
Mm.
like, if you really like it yourself, then you will be happy about it, right?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, even if you can find like one true fan that really, really enjoys your music, yeah, your job is done. Like kind of, because you've now like put out this work of art that someone else can appreciate, and that's kind of where like you should spend your time like on kind of, like build that connection because it's like, look, this guy really likes what you do, and that's like rare, to find someone else that's like, hey, you have the same sonic palette as I do, and that's a true fan right there. And they will tell their friends will tell their friends, and that kind of grows like after it kind of like snowrolls into like a big thing, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Mate. And I think as well, like that I know from like promoting shows. Yo, shout out to Sky, man. How you doing? Shout out to Crystal.
Sup, Akash?
Yo, what's up, Sky? How you doing, man? So yeah, like there's a fine line, right, where you're like
Yeah.
on the verge of annoying. Like sometimes I'll be like, "Hey, how's it going, man? Like everything good?" Like chat for like 1 minute, and then like, "Hey, come to my show, man." You feel like a drug dealer. You're like, "Hey, man, I've got a show coming up. You
No,
gonna come
no.
down?"
No, that's actually good. At least you chat with them for like 1 minute though. Like I've actually like met people where they'll say hi and then immediately go to like what they want, like from me. They'll be like, hey, can you do this for me? And it's like, well, could you at least like, I mean, come on, entertain me for like a minute or two. I haven't talked to you in like 2 years or something. I mean,
Yeah.
what is this?
Sometimes I don't like it when people just do nowadays they do like blanket email, like not even any greetings, just like you know what I mean, like or like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
WhatsApp
yeah.
group. Like I think
Yeah.
some Telegram groups seem to work quite well. I know like the club
Yep.
meme does it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I don't mind that. What's your opinion on just sending people like a mass like, hello, my follower? It's like
I mean, like, you're part of my email list, so
yeah, but I like it though because you take and you actually
Yeah.
put my name in, man. That's a lot of effort.
that I actually send all emails like
Shout out to
personalized.
Krish.
But yeah, I actually send like all emails out like personalized. So, like when I send it to you, it's literally just to you.
Yeah.
And then like, like if I send it to someone else, it'll be to them or whatever. I don't know. I mean, it does take a lot of time, but I feel like it's a bit more personal kind of, like at least you feel that, oh, cool, like this person sent me something and actually took the time to like say, hey, caught up with me a little bit or whatever, instead of like, hey, my new EP's out, cheers, like it's a bit like, yo,
Yeah, man.
there's less of a chance that I will click a link
It's
on
funny.
that, you know.
Like,
Yeah.
so I just got a comment here from
Yep.
Humpty Dumpty, Krish.
Humpty
He
Dumpty.
says, I was listening to oral psych synapse. Is that psych trance, bro? But tuning into Fab
Synapse.
says no. So yeah, we should play some more tunes. By the way,
Mm.
I'm here with Pressure K, everyone.
Hey everyone.
Here he is, and he's just released his new EP. It's called Transcendence, which you can find on all quality streaming platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we got a request from Sky for Area Zero. Again, are we gonna play that again? Or are we gonna play something else?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's
Yeah,
do
let's
it.
do it. Okay, so
For you,
this,
Sky.
for this
For
is
you.
Sky, man.
For you.
Oh, Dead Mao. Oh, it's what? It's Dead Mao. Oh, right. Cool. Okay, sorry. Anyway, so this is Pressure K's new track. It's called Area Zero. We played it.
We're playing it again.
We're rewinding this. We're rewinding it. Let's do it.
Let's go.
It's the rewind. Alright guys, that was called Area Zero. It's by the one and only Pressure K. He's right here.
I hope you're happy, Sky. I hope you're happy about that.
Yeah, we rewound that track for you, Sky, man. And yeah, some of the people following are happy too, man. Humpty Dumpty HK, aka Krish,
Yeah.
says this is a sick beat.
Oh, thank
exclamation
you,
mark.
thank you, thank you, thank you.
And then he puts in some lightning emoji.
Some lightning emojis.
I don't know,
I
is
do
that-
like lightning.
Is that like, yeah, what is that? Like, that's some like, I don't know, torture device or something. But yeah, lightning. Miles Yip joins. What's up? How you doing? Sky's got a couple of hands.
Couple of hands.
Is it
Yeah.
like that? It's like,
I mean,
don't shoot me. Don't kill.
I personally only have two hands, so I don't know what kind of radiation you have.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so that was
Yeah.
Area Zero. And yeah, dude, like by request
Yeah.
again. It's really sick.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thank you,
Um,
thank you.
Yeah, man. So we got some other unreleased. You mentioned that you wanted to play some unreleased tracks as well.
If we got time.
We got a little time here.
I
We
can
got time, we
preview.
got time. All right, so tell us about the unreleased tracks. Like, what's the plan for them? They're gonna be released.
It's actually it's supposed to be like another EP release this year, but I think what I might do is actually gonna stall it until maybe beginning of next year. I mean, most of it is kind of already done, like 95% almost, you know. But I'm really tired. I think I I dream too big, trying to release 4 EPs in 1 year, you know, like.
Yeah, that's pretty hard work, dude.
this-
You don't want to burn out.
Yeah, this third EP really got to me, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna wait, and you know, I'll release it next year instead.
Yeah, I think when you
Yeah.
do something creative as well, it can be quite draining, right?
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, though. Like sometimes you can work really fast, but sometimes it's like, yeah, you burn out, and you really just have to like take the time and kind of chill out a little bit and recover.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
real, bro.
Mm.
So we got a track here. It's called Valhalla. We're gonna give that one a spin.
Let's do it.
All right. And this will be released next year, probably early next year.
How did that next part go?
All right, guys, that was the track Valhalla.
Yeah.
It's by Pressure K's right here.
Hey, everyone, thanks for tuning in.
Shout out to Tangy Tang. Tangy Tang, nice. I like it. Isaac Skylimbu says headbanging from Hyperspace Studios.
Oh yeah, I forgot that he's in the studio today.
Ben says you should do the vacuuming. The studio's dirty. Is that close to the truth, man?
Kind of. It is a little bit dirty in the studio sometimes, but it's cool, man.
Oh man, one
Yeah.
time like I think after a show I brought all my equipment back to the studio and I was a bit
Yeah.
drunk, and then I ate like some chips or crisps or something. And then I was like, oh my god, it was like crisps everywhere.
Oh no.
I had to like vacuum before like the so if you're out there, John, sorry, I vacuumed up, man.
Well, at least you cleaned it, man. At least you cleaned it, I think.
Like my studio like doubles up as like I made beer in there, like I was
Mm.
like whatever.
It's like it's a studio where you cook beats, and it's a studio where you actually cook as well.
Yeah, exactly,
Kind of.
man. Yeah, for
It's a
sure.
kitchen. It's a kitchen.
So yeah, just with that track, man.
Yeah.
So you mentioned you have some mallet sounds that remind me of like sort of gamelan Indonesian style
Mm.
music,
Yeah.
and then like the synth lines you have there. Like I know you put guitars in your tracks before. It does
Yeah.
it does get to like a guitar solo style almost, right?
Kind of. I mean, like, it's definitely not a guitar. It's just like a plucky type synth sound, kind
Yeah,
of.
man.
Yeah.
Do you have like your favorite synth sounds that you go back to a lot?
Yeah, I actually have like a folder where I have like, this is the stuff that I use all the time, and this is stuff that I don't use most of the time, and that folder just gets deleted every once in a while, But yeah, I mean, like, I definitely have like a collection of just like one shots or like presets and stuff like that I always go back to, or drums, especially drums, because
Yeah.
with production, I feel like it drums bring the track to life, and if you find like if you found your favorite kick, put it in a folder because chances are you'll use that kick all the time.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, so like so you don't have to go through like 1,000 samples just to find one kick.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You know?
for sure, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Because you
yeah.
always like, I find that as well. Like,
Mm.
I'm always like, yeah, I'll get that sound back later. Like,
Nah, you won't.
You won't, man.
No, you won't. It's gone. It's gone, dude.
And especially the way that I tune like keyboards and stuff that have
Yeah.
like, you forget how you kind of tuned it. You know?
Yeah. Actually, with I used to own like a synth. It's called the Korg MS-20.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the one with the
Dope.
patch bay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What I do actually is I just take a photo of like the patches that I've made,
Oh,
so
yeah,
that
yeah,
I
yeah.
can redo the patch later.
Yeah.
You know, so for those of you who don't know, like if you buy hardware synth, you can't really save like a preset kind of on some of them.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you can. Sometimes you can save it, but you might
Yeah, yeah.
actually. You don't want to screw up the actual factory sound. You know,
Yeah,
sometimes-
I mean, you can save most of them, but those are like the more digital type like synths, you know,
Yeah.
like the ones with like patch bass, and when you're actually dealing with real oscillators and voltage and stuff like that, like that's kind of when you're like, okay, you can't really save this. I mean, you can keep it that way, but the problem with that is that you can't, you know, kind of create another sound if you just keep it that way,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, it gets a little bit
And I
like
find
weird
with
and
these,
finicky.
because I was bringing gear out to shows, and like what I'm
Yeah.
gonna switch to is like,
Mm.
because you know stuff screws up. I think like I might, export it like in like separate tracks and then play on Launchpad. It might be easier, man.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know a lot of like electronic producers like in Melbourne that actually do that, where they perform just with like a push,
Yeah.
and they have like all these clips on the push, and it's like the most complex thing I've ever actually seen. Cause like you know they have all these sessions or whatever, and it's like hundreds of banks of like little loops here and there,
Yeah.
and they control everything with like a push and like a DJM mixer, and I would always ask them like, do you ever get lost, you know? Cause like yeah, it's green, but the other one's green too. Like you know, yeah, like
Yeah.
do you ever like, hey, which one is which? You know, like how do you do this? You know, and it's like an hour of them like launching clips or whatever. And with Ableton, you do have like a MIDI like clock, so everything syncs or whatever. But the thing is, like if you press that button, let's say a few seconds late, it will play on the next bar rather than like the
Yeah.
one now. You know, so how do you? This is so stressful, you know. Like, cause with DJing, it's like, all right, you count your bars like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you click play, right?
Yeah.
For them, it's like 1, 2, 3, and then at the split second between 3 and 4, they have to click play, cause otherwise it won't play on the next bar.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, like how do you do this? Like you can't tap your feet right. You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah, that's true.
kind of messes with you.
But I think that's a cool way to also reimagine your music in a way. But
Mm.
obviously, exporting to DJ like for DJ mixers or whatever is probably the best way of doing it. 'Cause
Yeah, I mean, like if you have like a whole song, like it's easier, you know. I mean, like I get the whole like stem mixing thing because I know Tractor kind of did that with the S8, I think.
Oh yeah, S8.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about stems the other day, man, and it
Yeah.
didn't really take off though, man.
No, it didn't. The thing is, it's too much effort.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like it works for a few things. Like Tech House, for example, definitely works. You know, because like I mean, you have people like
yeah, it's very good for techno. I think.
yeah, you have people like Carl Cox where he mixes on literally like 4 decks simultaneously.
Yeah, and
you
vinyl
know?
too, right?
Yeah, and vinyl as well. Yeah, so he loops a little bit there and then here or whatever, and he kind of makes like a whole mix from just that, you know. And his hands are always busy, so you know he's actually like doing it. But then the thing is, for most of us, like let's say like for hip hop, for example, right? How are you gonna manage like 8 stems like
Yeah.
simultaneously? You know, like that's really not
pretty
gonna
hard.
work. Yeah.
I did think when the Tractor, because I used to be a big Tractor user.
Yeah.
But I don't like taking computers out that much, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when S8 came out, it's impressive. But then I think
Yeah.
Tractor to me got a bit lost with the way they were making stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like the S8 was targeted at like a very specific market, and that's kind of why it kind of fell short on itself as like a product. Because I actually bought the S8 thinking that it's super cool.
Oh no way. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not cheap as well, right?
I actually enjoyed it because there was no jog wheels.
Yeah, that's why I didn't buy it. I remember because I was using
Yeah.
S4 at the time. Then I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
no jog wheel. You crazy, man? I need my jog wheel, man.
Oh no, for me it was great because like I didn't have to worry about like the odd shapes that some MIDI controls have because of the
Yeah.
jog wheel, and I thought it was like super cool because it's like, oh, this is like, it's like the future. You know, I'm not a scratch DJ
Yeah,
or
it's very
anything,
future, yeah.
so it's like if you're just nudging on a CDJ, like they have like a touch strip that you can kind of nudge on.
Yeah, how was the touch script?
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. There's actually, if you go on YouTube, there's actually a couple people that managed to scratch with it.
Oh, no way.
Like full on like hip hop DJing type scratching on it.
Wow.
Like it's really like it's the weirdest thing I've ever seen, but it works, you know, kind
So,
of.
but you sold your S8 though, right? I'm saying.
Yeah, I did just because after that the step up was I went to USBs and I never looked back actually. Like USBs is so convenient.
Oh man, it's
Yeah.
so crazy. It's a game changer, man.
Yeah,
When-
really.
When USBs came out, it was
Yeah.
like holy moly. Like I used to bring out CDs, man. Like
Yeah,
back in the day. like, it
those
just
were the
had-
days.
Dude, and there's one time I had like 2 folders of CDs. They were like
Yeah.
huge, and it got stolen, man, as well, dude.
Oh no.
I mean, I had all the music at home, but burning that many CDs is really a pain. I used to burn backups as well, actually,
Oh
because
man.
they start scratching as well. Those CDs. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I used to have Denon. You ever had Denon mixers before?
I've seen Denon CDJs. I mean, they have like kind of the CDJ type setup now, but I know back then
Yeah.
it was kind of like there's like a direct drive turntable on it, but it's not really like a turntable. It's kind of like a CD player, but with like a little platter, like a moving
Yeah,
platter.
yeah, they got a moving platter.
Yeah.
yeah.
Those were super cool, and I've always wanted one.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah. It was cool. It was heavy as hell, but like it was worth it. It was worth carrying that around, I think.
Yeah, man.
I have no experience with Denon players though. Actually, like, I've seen them from afar, but that's about it.
Fair enough, man.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Well, we're kind of swiftly running out of time, so let's try and finish some of the tracks first.
Cool.
We're gonna play Pressure K's track called "Now You Know," which is coming out at a future date.
Let's do it.
And we're doing it.
Sorry I had to leave. Now you know why I had to go. I had to
guys, that's the track Now You Know. It's by Pressure K, who's right here.
Now you know. Now you know.
Nick from Swiftcat says, Yo, Pressure K, a pretty dope name.
Thank you.
Yep. How's
Thanks, man.
Vancouver going, man? You going well, dude? Shout out to Loretta as well. How you doing, Loretta? So yeah, anyway, we've
Yeah.
been playing your tracks, man. That one's got less of a tribally, more like a euphoric sound, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, it's a Jersey track as well. So,
Oh yeah, so that's
yeah.
a Jersey club
Yeah,
style,
yeah,
right?
for sure.
So, just for our listeners out there, like Jersey club we talked about last time.
Yep.
Generally speaking, as far as I understand, it's like 140 to 150 BPM.
Yep,
And then it's like trapped with kick drum sections in it. Is that how would you describe Jersey club?
I feel like it's just like Baltimore club but slower.
Oh, like
yeah.
Be More, yeah.
Yeah, V-more is quite fast. Jersey is kind of a little bit slower, but I feel like over time, like Jersey is kind of like taken off, like again, like kind of like a thing now, and like it's a bit more hybrid. I feel like now, where it combines like multiple genres and stuff like that,
'Cause
rather than
when I was really into Baltimore before.
Yeah.
And I really like that. I mean, he's not really Baltimore DJ, but around that time.
Yep.
What's that guy called? Oh man. Girl Talk. You know Girl Talk.
Oh yeah, the sampler dude.
Oh man,
Oh,
his albums are
man.
amazing. Like when Girl
Yeah.
Talk put out an album, it was like all samples that sounded like completely original music.
Yeah, I actually he was one of the producers I was like exposed to when I was like starting to get into production, and I thought it was super cool, like the way he does things. He's kind of like he was DJ Earworm before DJ Earworm.
Oh, yeah,
you
for
know what I
sure,
mean?
man,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was the originator of that type of thing,
Oh yeah, Earworm,
Yeah.
man, dude. Like Earworm does the crazy stuff as well, right? Those like.
But I wonder if Girl Talk ever got into like legal trouble. Like, I mean, because those samples are not cleared.
Yeah,
you know?
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
because he doesn't really do much anymore these days.
Nah, but
You
like,
know?
yeah, I'm not sure, but his gigs were insane, dude. Like just on
Yeah.
a laptop.
Yeah, it's
Like-
literally just launching clips like over and over.
The only guy that would blend like Elton John with like Big E, like,
Yeah, it was pretty
crazy,
crazy. Yeah, it was pretty
Yeah.
crazy. Like
Yeah.
I feel like he kind of like started this whole like mashup kind of thing.
Yeah,
Where you
exactly,
grab
yeah.
like multiple samples, whatever. Because like in the future after DJ Earworm, there was Madion. Madion did the same
Oh,
thing.
Madion with the Launchpad.
Yeah,
stuff
with the
as well.
Launchpad. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Madion a lot actually. I don't know, Madion doesn't seem that active right now.
I don't really follow him too much. I know who he is,
I
but
guess he would get burned out a little bit as well, dude.
yeah.
Like, look what happened to Avicii here. I think about the pressure some of these guys have.
Oh man, Avicii, rip, bless his soul, bless his soul.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
R.I.P. man. I mean, I think
RIP.
the thing that what Avicii highlighted in a way was that like the pressure and also like a lot of people around them like not really telling them to chill out a bit, like or looking after their mental health, as a performer.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that kind of.
Not to blame anyone, of course.
Yeah, of course,
situation, but,
yeah.
obviously, like mental health issue is pretty severe, right? And I think that's more common than people like to admit.
Yeah, I think like it's definitely very very present in like the music industry as well, but I feel like it's more on. Can I say something that will offend everyone?
Yeah, let's offend people. Come on.
I feel like it's more in like society as a whole. Like I feel like when we were brought up, and even in like the world we live in now, where it's like if you're not working, then you're not doing anything with your life, and that's kind of like drilled into us. So it's like it's almost hard for us to even take breaks, because like when we take breaks, we feel like we're wasting time or whatever. When in reality, it's not. Like you need to take breaks, and humans aren't built to hustle and work like 24 hours a day and go home and then do it again, like you can't
Yeah.
do that. You need time to yourself, and I think like it's important to realize as well that like look, it's okay like to kind of like take it slow, and sometimes like if you're not feeling it, then you're not feeling it. Like, I mean, just stay at home, I don't know, binge eat, watch some Netflix, and kind of just like chill out a little bit, rather than like forcing out like work, and like because you like you burn out, you get depressed, and you might like develop anxiety issues too.
Yeah, I think like I read an article about this in the Guardian, and it talks about people like mixing like being busy with being like productive, like
Yeah,
as in
yeah.
like I'm busy, hence I'm like validated,
Yeah.
And they talk
Yeah.
about this Danish movement, and I forget the name, but there's a movement that's coming out of Denmark, which is like where you dedicate like an hour today just to do absolutely nothing. Like
Yeah, yeah.
literally like not even like the article was about like how people like are addicted to stimulus now, like
Yeah.
phones, all this
For
stuff.
sure, yeah.
So like they say like okay, just take an hour just to literally be with yourself and your thoughts, and it's actually more difficult than people assume. And the first thing they'd say is like get rid of your phone for like 6 hours. Try it.
Yeah,
Which is crazy, man. To like I'm addicted. I check my phone all the time, right? But,
I've actually gone through like this a couple of times where if I feel too overwhelmed, I would literally like turn off my phone and go back to like a dummy Nokia phone
oh yeah.
for like a month or
Nice.
something. Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
cool.
So I do that like quite often, like because most of the time like I'll feel, oh, you know what, I'm depressed. Everyone's out to get me. I'm not doing anything, and that's kind of when I know it's like right, that's time to like let's turn everything off and whatever. Just because I feel like social media is a little bit toxic sometimes, because
Oh man, it's super toxic.
yeah, I mean, like the thing is, you're looking through like everyone's life, like through like a whole, you know. So it's like, of course, they will showcase like their best moments. They will showcase like what they're doing and blah blah blah, you know. But the thing is, like, I mean, chances are most of them are going through the same thing as you are, you know, where it's like they're not happy or whatever. But because you're exposed to only like the best things of everyone,
Yeah.
you feel like your life is kind of unfulfilled. You know, like, hey, everyone's out there having a good time. I'm here feeling depressed. You know, but then you're kind of judging people like based on what they want you to see.
Yeah.
You know, but obviously, like for us, like the human brain can't like understand reason because we're a slave to emotions, kind of. You know.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
humans are. So it's very animal, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So I think herd mentality is very, 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 very big, and
Yeah.
that can affect you on social media. When
Mm.
you feel the pressure, right?
Yeah.
I think one of the pressures I find with social media is like that. Sometimes you feel like everyone's just competing for attention.
Yeah. Which
It's
is
not really about
why.
community. It's more just like, oh, look at me. I'm just gonna do something to get attention.
Yeah, I mean, like that's kind of why, like you really have to be careful who you follow and who you kind of connect with as well, just because like everything that you're exposed to will affect you in like a subconscious level, and when it gets too much, that's usually the time where I'm like, right, it's time to turn my phone off, go back to a Nokia dummy phone without Wi-Fi or anything, and the only
Yeah.
thing you have is like WhatsApp or call, and that's really good because you would be surprised
You don't
like
lose touch with people as well.
yeah, you'll actually be surprised that like most of the time when like that habit you have, you know, where where you're kind of just waiting in line or whatever, you just like you have that habit, you know. So like you'd be surprised how many times you catch yourself doing that after going down to like a dummy phone, like where you take your
Yeah.
phone out and you'd be like, oh right, I'm not supposed to be, you know. So
When I
Yeah.
switched to Apple, like screen time was like crazy when I
Oh,
started
yeah.
seeing how much,
yeah,
like some days like 6-7 hours.
yeah,
Of
yeah,
course,
yeah.
a lot of my clients for my normal job like would
Yeah.
email me or WhatsApp me, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But at the same time, it's kind of shocking, like that you could spend so much time on your phone.
Yeah, I think the longest time I've spent on like an app was like I think there was this one day I had like 4 or 5 hours on literally just Instagram. That's not screen time, it's just Instagram. So like
Wow.
4 hours a day was gone of me just staring at Instagram.
Oh man, it's crazy.
Yeah. And I didn't even know it, you know, until the next day where I checked back and I'm like, what? I spent 4 hours yesterday just scrolling on Instagram, you know?
Well, it's kind of funny because I'm like I'd say like a bit older than a lot of people in the music scene.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And I think like I can see a generation difference now. Like people who are like say in their 20s, like they're
Mm.
taking like regular like social media breaks. I feel like
Mm.
that's a thing.
I mean, I feel like that also depends on who you talk to, man. Like,
Yeah, fair enough.
I won't lie. Again, this is not me bragging or anything, but I.
All right, guys, bragging.
I don't think I've met like anyone else that has taken a social media detox before.
I know one of the guys
Yeah.
who tuned in earlier, Finn, did. Actually.
Oh, nice, nice, nice. But I like most of the people that I'm like exposed to anyway. Like, it's constant like just phones, you know. Like if I just, it's a little like funny thing because when I hang out with people, if I just stop talking for like 5 seconds, they get awkward enough that they will automatically just take the phone out.
Oh yeah, dude.
You know, like instead of thinking about what else to say, they're just like, you know what, I'm just gonna look at my phone until you say something.
Yeah.
You know, like just subconsciously.
It's really bad actually.
Yeah.
I noticed that. Like even social gatherings, people will be like on the phone.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes it's kind of rude as well, you know,
Oh,
because
yeah,
it's like,
100%.
hey, you
You're
call,
not interesting.
yeah, you called me out here and we're hanging out and you could, I mean, we can talk or something rather than you looking at your phone.
Yeah.
And most of the time, it's not like anything. Like it's the thing is, I understand if it's like, oh, you know what, I have to apply this, it's my job or whatever. Cool, fair enough. Most of the time, they just pull it out and immediately like Facebook or Instagram. And the funny thing is, if you keep like just watching their screen, they kind of just go from Facebook and then to Instagram and then back to Facebook
Oh,
and back to
man.
Instagram, just refresh.
Yeah, it's terrible, man. It's actually depressing. Dude, I think we're swiftly running out of time. So I'm
Cool,
gonna play
cool.
the last track of the day. It's
Cool.
called Star Full.
Let's do it.
All right, everyone. I'm Fab Sabs, and I'm here with Pressure K. Shout out. You can catch us on Facebook. I'll be putting this on YouTube.
Nice.
So, yeah, we'll be around, man.
Let's
All
do
right,
it.
this is Starfall, guys.
Come follow me to a secret place where only the moon can see. Beyond the shores, there is something more, just waiting for you.
right, guys, that was the track Starfall, and that's by Pressure K's right here.
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in.
And shout out to everyone. This sounds like I'm dying. This has been Fab Sabs.
This has been.
This is the has been.
This is. Oh no! Don't say it like that.
Just kidding.
Damn man.
Okay, I have been Peter. No, whatever. Like, okay, whatever.
Now it's awkward.
Fucking awkward. Okay, this is Eaton Radio. We're at Eaton Hotel on Fab Sabs. See you guys next week. Every Thursday, 4:30 ish to like 6 ish. I don't think we've ever started on time. Actually, that's one thing. That's for sure.
You should probably get that in check.
Poor Ben
actually.
was like waiting for me.
Well, you're only like 5 minutes late. You're cool, man. That's fine.
All right, cool.
right.
All right, see everyone next week. Ciao.
Take it easy, guys.
Bye.